showtime.
Before the big screen mainstream actors paid any attention.
Well, so Doug, here's a question. How can you tell the difference between the world and that?
I love that intro. I have a question. How is everyone doing today?
We're hot. It's hot as sin around here.
Yes, it is very hot in Metro Detroit. Welcome to the Tech School Podcast powered by DSDT. Yes, in the city of Detroit, where it's like 95 degrees or hotter at the moment.
As in 100 hotter.
Yeah, as far as the heat index.
Yeah.
Include that into the equation. I'm Josh. Carlos, how's it going?
Hold on now.
Oh, I forgot. I'm Josh.
I'm Cryptolos.
Yes. There we go. How's it going today, Cryptolos?
I'm well. I'm just like everybody else. I'm trying to beat the heat.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so give us an update here at DSDT. What's going on? We are in officially. How do the semesters work here? Break that down for me.
All right, so we have semesters. We're not actually semesters. We have clock hours, right? Okay. So every month, pretty much, we have a change of classes. So that breaks up to be about 12 classes a year.
Okay.
And so being clock hour based allows us to be able to give more time to our students to their studies. So regular semester based schools, you may go hypothetically, one class you may take, 3 hours a day and roughly maybe 9 hours to 12 hours a week. Well, with our school, you take a minimum of 22 hours a week.
Right on.
So 22 hours a week allows us to be able to get you into a program and to get completed over a 7.5 month time frame. And we equate that to be just a little bit more than associate's degree. So in about 7.5 months, we can get you in a program and get you trained with more knowledge in many cases than an associate's degree that you would take at a 2 to 4 year institution. So another great reason as to why many individuals choose trade schools, vocational schools, as well as boot camp types of training sessions.
Good. With that being said, how are things here today? Again, it is extremely hot. It's hot across the nation at the moment. Very high temperatures.
Yeah, it's the weather is one thing, but as far as being here in the school, it's great, right? So we have our next round of classes that began on Monday.
Okay, what's happening Monday?
For those that are interested, if you have not gotten in contact with our admissions representatives, do yourself a favor now and do it. You can go to dsdt.edu. You will find a contact page. On the contact page, if you submit your information, I promise you, someone will get back with you. And once they get back with you, we can get you all the information, the details that you need of the classes that we offer in hopes that you too would be enrolled and possibly done. We have month classes. We have 4-month classes, a 3-month class, as well as we have a 7.5 month, as I described, and also a 15-month class. So if you get in contact with us, have a conversation with our admin reps, they can explain to you which and what each one of those classes offer.
And people who have to leave a message, what information should they leave?
Just leave your name and your phone number. Okay. Somebody reach back out to you.
All right, very simple.
Right. Tell them that you heard Carlos and Josh talking about it on Tech School Podcast, and when they call you back, they will let me know that was the reference. I don't know. I might be able to give you a deal or something. I don't know. I might be able to give you some kind of deal.
You heard right here on the Tech School Podcast.
Right. I might be able to fix it so you will have to attend school in the summer. I'm just saying.
If you said what you heard just now right here on the Tech School Podcast, like Carlos, Cryptolos.
Yeah.
Cryptolos may cut you a deal.
We'll cut you a deal. The deal would be that you will have to attend classes in the summer.
Hell of a bargain.
Right. So deals aren't necessary, right? You're already kind of getting a deal. Think about that.
The time you save.
Think about it. You know, how many of those of you have actually attended a 2 to 4 year university already, a junior college, right? And you spend all that time in those studies and you get a lot of fluff, a lot of fluff. I don't know. When I was going to college, they had this thing called typing that goes to tell you how old I am, right? They had typing. And so I would have to take that class, beginning accounting, literature. I had all these classes that were not pertinent to the studies that I had. And so the one thing about DSDT, I like to afford the students and make sure that they're getting afforded the actual information that they need in order to be viable tomorrow. Not in 2 years, not in 4 years, but tomorrow. Can we get you into a class? I mean, think about it. We have a class, Tech 2, Technology Professional 2, in which you are trained in a month. Fundamental trainings, it's called A+ of information technology. With that training, our job then is to place you in an industry recognized opportunity so that you actually get the benefit of what you study in a month. Now, where can you do that at? Tell me that.
Sounds like very few places. Very few.
Absolutely, very few places, especially when we're talking about technology. I don't know. Maybe you want to go to school for cosmetology, if that's your thing. I don't know. Maybe you want to go to school for HVAC, if that's your thing. I promise you, you don't want to be doing HVAC today. I'm just saying, not in the city of Detroit. It's 95 degrees, and as I said, it's beginning to get a lot like 100 degrees around here. So you choose your poison, right? DSDT has technology opportunities in the programs that we train you in. We ultimately have to place you in a job thereof. So again, reach out to us. Go to the website, dsdt.edu.
And give the folks like just some kind of range, if you will, if you go for a month course or a 3-month course, and we're talking about someone who comes in and takes care of business.
Somebody
they show up and show out, as you like to put it.
I like that. I like that. See, I like when they start quoting back to me. I like that. So you show up and you take a 1-month program, and afterwards you're looking to get into a job. Well, on the low end, those job opportunities start off between $18 to $22 an hour, $22.50 an hour on the low end. Now, I know we just came out of a pandemic, right? And I know everybody heard of that there's, job opportunities right now and we can't find employees. Yeah, all of that is true. But the fact of the matter is there are other people that are vying for the same opportunities. And so when you come to DSDT, we give you the skill set to be able to go into the interview to knock it down. If you're able to do that, then you're going to get a shot at a job that perhaps you might not have had in the past, right? So we're really affording you the luxury of being able to not only train you with a lot of the hard skill, but we also give you the soft skills that are necessary. And not only that, but we also have the connections with the employers if necessary for you. Right. So you have an amalgamation of your skill set, your soft skills, and then being able to know from industry professionals who will be teaching you, as well as those that will be giving you the mock interviews in order to be in a better place than you were in a month prior. And we don't just, send you into an interview and it's done. No, we're going to work with you as many times as it takes in order that you would get the right opportunity to be able to elevate your life. I don't know where you're at. I don't know what you're doing. All I'm saying is I truly believe that we can help you go down the road and prosper in a way that maybe you wouldn't have in the past. All you can do is just try us.
Also, with that being said, Carlos, it sounds like future students should come in asking a lot of questions about employers that they would like to potentially connect with once they're done with the program.
Absolutely. You should come in asking a lot of questions. But let me tell you something. When you asking those questions, make sure that you're ready to be asked a lot of questions.
Again, show up and show out.
Right?
We're talking about that caliber.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually was on the phone this morning with one of the students, straight A student. Well, when I say straight A, the student had 1B.
They're
1B
smart.
in a 7.5-month program.
All right.
I was so proud, because very seldom do you have people that really show up and take care of business. And this particular student lives in Texas. And this particular student, not only what were they doing the class, but they had a full-time jobs, had issues going at home with the children, and yet they were able to benefit from the program. And now they have a job in which they get to show exactly what DSDT has done for them, and they can't wait to come on the show to actually tell about, or as I like to say, give a testament of how we have been able to be instrumental in their life. And that's what we're here for. That's what we're trying to do. Once upon a time, again, it was DSDT, Detroit School for Digital Technology. I'm still trying to figure out what the first D is going to be, since we're way beyond Detroit now.
You may have to change the D to a G.
Global School, what? I'm just saying, it's possible. Global School of Technology. I don't think
It doesn't have the same ring. I get it, but
we can't do that.
We
can't do it because actually that'll be a competitor's name. I'm just saying.
Can't do that. We'll have to retune that D.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, Carlos, who do we have on the show for today?
All right. So today we have a young man that comes to us from the local community, right?
Okay.
His name is Jacob. And Jacob is part of a tech hub here in the city of Detroit. The tech hub is with Ultimatrix. I don't know why I always get tongue-tied on that word, right? But Jacob, he is the community director, and Jacob has a lot of fascinating things to kind of divulge for those that are into the startup world. And I thought that it would be a great conversation to have. We have so many students that come in and say, well, I want to start my own business. Well, what does that look like, right? What does starting your own business look like in a after world of COVID? What does it look like when you're trying to find funding for that business? And what altogether does the startup ecosystem in the city of Detroit in particular? And I'll tell you a reason why, because we have a stat that has just rated Detroit as being the #1 ecosystem in the entire world for startups. I'm just saying, we definitely want to have this conversation. So without further ado, why don't we just go ahead and bring Mr. Jacob Evan Smith to the show.
Jacob, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How y'all doing?
Doing well. So let's get into this great news Carlos just mentioned. Cryptolos.
There it is. Make sure you call me by my first government.
Your first government name, Cryptolos. This is some very interesting news, Jacob, that Detroit ranked #1 as far as emerging startup ecosystem. What does that mean for the city of Detroit to start off?
I think it's a long time coming. Personally, I've been in the Detroit tech scene since 2012. And I think that just what I've tried to communicate with people over the years is just the trajectory of how quickly things have developed and changed, particularly around the tech scene here. I think the #1 designation is pretty eye-opening in some ways, just because there's a lot of really exciting emerging tech scenes around the country and around the globe. But I think Detroit is every bit deserving of that recognition, in my humble opinion. And the article went into detail about kind of how they came to that decision. And it's pretty interesting to think about some of the exits we've had over the past few years, the investment that's come in from the outside, the major accelerators with Techstars being based again out of Detroit, and some different things. So I think it's huge in terms of talent retention, and it's just a good look for Detroit all around, and good for opportunities for Detroiters.
Absolutely. You kind of alluded to my next question, like who have been some of the major players to rank Detroit #1 in this category? Because we're talking about a city that was known for just the auto industry. Recession, boom, here we go, rock bottom. And now we're talking about Detroit is among the elite, potentially, if I'm understanding this correctly, as far as technology.
Yeah, I mean, I think a few years ago, you didn't have a big criticism of Detroit's tech ecosystem was available VC dollars, and also like the lack of unicorns, of large startup exits. And just over the past few years, I mean, I think I'm assuming that this recognition is regional, not just the city of Detroit. I would need
Metro
to
Detroit.
look more carefully, Metro Detroit. But we've had some major exits just over the past few years, or valuations between StockX, Duo Security, Rivian, a few other major ones, some that aren't quite as well known to the outside, but nevertheless have come out with large valuations like White Glove and some of these other startups that I'm blanking out of the names of, plus a bunch of smaller acquisitions and different things like that. So I think very quickly Detroit has kind of come onto the map with kind of these large exit big technology companies, while at the same time big established tech companies like Microsoft and Google and LinkedIn all have presences downtown just over the past few years. So we're seeing kind of that cosign, that investment from the larger tech firms, and following kind of this broader trend of VC dollars from the outside, coming in addition to the development of the VC, the active VCs within the state. So it's kind of just this all types of different things happening together that make it a particularly exciting place to be.
If I'm an up-and-coming tech enthusiast, what do I do to get involved, to get a piece of the action? Like, where do I start?
Great question. I think Detroit's a place, and Carlos can attest to this. Detroit's a place where it's less about what you know and it's more about who you know. People.
Hold on. What does that mean? What does that mean? What do you mean Carlos might know?
I'm saying because you're an effective.
He's making some valid points here.
Because you're an effective networker, Carlos, not because you don't know things. My point is solely that getting out and meeting people is the first thing that I would recommend for anybody, whether or not you're planning to be a professional people person. If you're an engineer, if you're whatever you're trying to do, getting out and going to actual events. I was at an event last week. The Startup Detroit Happy Hour is coming back, and that's going to be hosted. I think they're still waiting on a date, but it's maybe the last Tuesday of every month, something like that. We host a virtual program every third Thursday called Mind Smash that may have an in-person component soon. But getting out and meeting people is the first thing that I would recommend for anybody, because folks really look out for each other here, and really meeting somebody, letting them know your intention, what you're looking for, then they can connect you to somebody else, and through that network, you can land an opportunity. That's definitely my top recommendation.
Are these gatherings, events posted on social media? If so, do you have any idea where people can navigate to kind of start off their search and to connect?
Yeah, I think there's kind of two different channels I'd recommend. So Startup Detroit is a whole thing. I think it's startupdetroit.co, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm getting that right. Where basically it channels you to some different resources. There's a Slack channel that actively posts upcoming events and things like that. So that's one avenue. There's also a monthly Startup Detroit meetup for where folks come and give early stage startup pitches. So that's a great place to come and meet early stage folks. So that's kind of one network and one thing to plug into. There's a company locally called Purpose.jobs, Purpose Jobs, that is a hiring platform specifically connecting folks to tech jobs in the Midwest. That I highly, highly recommend checking out. And then lastly, our program. So Collider, which is, we'll post the link, I'm sure, altimetric.collider.com, is all about, collider.altimetric.com is all about helping people connect to available resources, including locally. We have a whole Detroit-specific channel where we're highlighting upcoming tech events. I curate a calendar of Detroit tech events that we share in there and different things like that. So definitely talk to me if you're interested in understanding what's going on as well.
I love it. Okay, in terms of, here's a question. Someone just popped up, one of our viewers. What is MEDC?
The Michigan Economic Development Corporation. Is that right, Carlos?
It is.
So as far as I understand, I think it's similar to, it's the state equivalent of the DEGC, the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. It's a public-private entity. It's like the nonprofit partner to the state of Michigan that helps connect private businesses with opportunities and helps retain talent in the state and unlock opportunities. Is that am I getting that pretty well?
Yep.
And Jacob, I just have to commend you. You're a good man. You're very knowledgeable. We're just putting you on the spot with question after question after question after question.
I feel like it's like a quiz, pop quiz. Yeah.
No, you're doing very well. So we appreciate you.
Hey.
For sure.
Right. So I would agree that the first step you would have is to start getting out and meeting people.
Mhm.
You know, because I've been to you guys' meetup, and phenomenal. The people that you meet, the contacts that you make, you know, and I am a people person of sorts. I just find that there's a healthy community within the city that affords you to get connected with information you wouldn't otherwise have. Now,
Yeah.
if you guys know, a few weeks ago there was consensus down in Austin, Texas.
Mm.
I'm heavy into the space as of right now, blockchain technology, and I thought to myself that that was a place that I really would think about setting up another office, right? But when I saw this report about Detroit, it
Yeah.
literally floored me. It floored me. Real simple, because one of the statements that was made, this provides a comprehensive review of the startup world with data from over 3 million companies across 280 plus entrepreneurial innovation ecosystems. I mean, it's not like, you know, we were in the running against two cities and Detroit was one and downtown Detroit was the other one. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
It's pretty cool. And Carlos, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, for those that are blockchain enthusiasts locally, that we do have a Detroit Blockchain Center run by a phenomenal guy, Nate Talbot, who, if you're looking to plug into the local blockchain space, you also talked with Adam Zientarski, who's also, you know, heavily plugged in that world and involved in that effort. So no matter what kind of your niche tech interest is, there is an avenue in Detroit. Part of the challenge is it's not always so apparent. It's not always so on the surface. So you got to just kind of plug into the folks that know where to channel you to. And from there, you can get plugged into all the things. But it's there's something for everybody. If you're blockchain, mobility tech, whatever the case may be, definitely start asking around and you'll quickly get routed to the right person to talk to.
Jacob, this is somewhat of a tough question, so just be prepared. Answer to the best of your ability. With this great news, how do we trickle this from the downtown area, from the suburbs into the inner city? When we talk about digital divide, Cryptolos and I talk about on a weekly basis here on the podcast. Digital divide is something we talk about frequently. How do we trickle this good news into the inner city communities?
That's a fantastic question, and one that I'll do my best to answer. I have a lot of thoughts on this. I think education is first and foremost. Carlos went off screen, but I hope he's doing a little dance over here. I think it has to start with education and you know, raising the next generation of folks to be empowered to run with opportunity when it arrives, right? So you say like luck is where opportunity meets preparation. We can provide the opportunity, but folks have to be ready to run with it, right? So I think folks like Carlos and others who are working on the education side with upskilling, with retraining, with all those types of things, we have a huge network of folks that are trained to do things with their hands, folks that are trained with engineering skills and different things, or like adjacent skills that can be retrained in different technology skills that are more suited for kind of the next generation of jobs. And I think that's, you know, an essential piece of the puzzle. I think that addressing digital divide, we can't overlook the impact of internet access. So Detroit now has an Office of Digital Inclusion that's running an effort called Connect 313. I think it's connect313.org, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Where a huge effort to get widespread, affordable internet access throughout the city, which if you can't connect to the internet, you can't find out about the opportunities to begin with, much less take advantage of free training resources and all the different benefits of the internet. So I think that's a huge piece of the puzzle. And then lastly, just to keep the answers succinct, I would say distribution of money and resources is a crucial piece of the puzzle. I don't know the best way to solve that offhand, but I think that there's a role to play for, there's an awesome effort called the Michigan Founders Fund happening, I think based out of Ann Arbor, if I'm not mistaken, that is encouraging founders that participate in the program to pledge a certain percentage of their proceeds for when they get acquired in the future, should they get acquired in the future, to re-engaging, reinvesting in community-driven initiatives to help spread resources, as an example. So I think getting creative through the different foundations and through the Detroit's incredible grassroots nonprofit ecosystem, not to mention the private sector and the role of corporate social responsibility and such. I think we have an enormous opportunity to be spreading resources more widely within the city. For Collider specifically, we are based downtown, but thank you. But a huge piece of our focus and program is making sure that the folks that are in the room are representing the broader spectrum of Detroit. I'd be remiss not to mention there's an incredible group called Detroit Black Tech that's doing a phenomenal job connecting different Black tech employees and founders in the city, which is a huge, obviously, 80% of the population in Detroit, and a disproportionate piece of the inner city, kind of the broader neighborhoods. So I think efforts like that, providing opportunities specifically for Black tech entrepreneurs and employees, I think is crucial as well. So we do a really, we actively work to make sure we have folks that represent a wide range of ethnicities, of different genders, of different ages, and really work to bring together a wide range of folks in our space, specifically so that we can tap into kind of this broader range of creativity that exists within the broader Detroit ecosystem.
Beautiful. You said the name of that organization again is Detroit Black Tech?
Detroit Black Tech, and there's an active Slack channel. They host an annual Hacking with the Homies developer conference, amongst other awesome efforts. So definitely check that out if you self-identify as being a Black tech entrepreneur.
Hold on. Station identification. Hold on, right now.
You can.
I don't know what just happened, but I liked it.
Here's what just happened, Jacob. When we have a guest on and they drop knowledge, and you've been dropping knowledge since the moment you came on.
Listen to him.
Yes.
Hercules. Listen,
Thank you.
Man that is the man that knows everything about what's going on. Are you familiar with programs like the Motor City Match?
Sure.
You are?
Yeah.
So how does that fit in the grand ecosystem of those that are endeavoring to get those brick and mortars up and running? What can you give us about that?
Great question. So I was my answer was very tech biased, right? So or internet digital business bias. But I think with brick and mortar businesses, I think there's a lot of different opportunities available in different programs. Motor City Match is one incredible one. I forget exactly how it works, but you get they partner a building owner with an entrepreneur, a physical business, and give you like a stipend towards activating that space, if I'm not mistaken. I know plenty of people that have taken advantage of that program. It's really incredible. Definitely check that out. It's still running as far as I know. Another great ecosystem to tap into is the TechTown. The TechTown ecosystem is incredible because you're getting a little bit of both. TechTown's real strength is, definitely resources for tech, but a ton of resources available for brick and mortar with training programs for entrepreneurs and different things. Not sure where the competitive overlap there is, Carlos, so I won't, whatever, but they have incredible resources available. They were essential in coordinating emergency support resources over COVID and different things like that. So definitely one of those kind of hubs to plug into if you're looking to kind of first get acclimated in the Detroit tech scene. One more that I really want to make sure I mention is the Bamboo Detroit Network, which is both tech and brick and mortar entrepreneurs and kind of like a lot of independent contractors and things like that. So just another opportunity that's a co-working space and a network of people that you can plug into that can channel you to different resources and things. And then Detroit has all types of different grants and things available for brick and mortar businesses that I'm not super plugged into the latest there, but that's where Detroit Economic Growth Corporation, DGC, and like I said, TechTown and some other organizations really shine is with those types of support resources.
Okay, so here's one real quick one. I don't know how quick it's going to be, right? But so I see that you're there and you're at the Collider space. Can you kind of give us a sense of what Ultimatrix and Collider, what is it? What do they do? And what is the impact that you guys are hoping to make in the community?
For sure. So Ultimetric is our parent company. So I represent a program called Collider. Ultimetric's our parent company. It's effectively, we're a digital business enablement company. So I think the easiest way to describe it is we help catalyze, we help accelerate the growth of businesses with what we call digital business. So it's basically everything around how to prepare and take your business to the next level in the modern digital age. So everything from driving scalable solutions to thinking about end-to-end solutioning and how to like really be prepared for the next generation of what's kind of coming here. So the easiest way to describe it is we help a company like Ford keep up with a company like Tesla, where technology might not be the core competency. We step in and support with a consulting service that helps take businesses to the next level. Collider is an effort under that umbrella where effectively we're bringing together a wide range of tech professionals, software engineers, through kind of like tech business leaders and everybody in between, to basically break down come together and break down the silos that can often exist between the business people and the tech people. So in doing so, it's kind of all about the things I mentioned: exploring scalable solutions, learning more about kind of this concept I'm describing around kind of digital business, all about problem solving using technology. And we're building a robust community of folks that are eager to be talking about that, helping each other grow, connecting resources, all of those types of things. That's what we're all about. And Altimetric is headquartered in Southfield. It's about a 4,500 employee company with a global presence. So a decent sized business that's headquartered in Michigan, that's supporting our effort financially.
Wow. And you said that's headquartered here in Michigan. Was it founded here in Michigan?
Founded and headquartered in Southfield, Michigan. Yep. And our biggest, if I'm not mistaken, I think our biggest client is Ford Motor Company. And we have clients all over the world. So big Michigan presence, about 100 engineers at Ford alone. And our Collider's headquarters is in downtown Detroit. We're right above, right at the intersection of John R. and Woodward. We do a lot of virtual programming, though. That was a big focus of ours over COVID, was kind of expanding the scope into a national and global network, but with a heavy focus on supporting Detroit. So all of our efforts now, we have our Detroit kind of local focus, and then we're helping people plug into this bigger network of global digital business professionals who can help open opportunities beyond just Detroit.
And gentlemen, I want to pivot with that good point, Jacob. When talking about helping folks, what is needed for a startup to succeed, especially following a pandemic?
That's a good question. And I did take a peek at that article, Carlos. I think, what's needed for a startup to succeed, I think it's, similar to pre-pandemic. But I think that the pandemic definitely highlighted the importance of resilience. I think that the pandemic and flexibility, I think that the pandemic definitely highlighted the strong desire from a lot of folks to have the option to work remote. So I think like there's some different things like that. So helping businesses structure themselves in such a way that fits those changing demands of both the labor market and also what's needed of their business, so that they're not stuck in kind of past ways of doing business in the most literal sense. So that's kind of what I'm describing when I'm talking about this digital business idea, whether you're a startup or whether you're a big corporation, structuring things in a way that thinks about security from the onset, so that it's not an afterthought that you're trying to patch it in later. Thinking about designing systems such that they work when the company's very small, but also can then scale as your company grows effectively. I think that right now a concrete example of that is for startups is leveraging this emerging wave of no-code technology and some of these really inexpensive tools that exist. Our Collider website is built all on a platform called Squarespace. That's very inexpensive. I'm not a web designer or a UX designer, and I was able to develop a large chunk of our website just using their interface that allows me to design it very easily. So taking advantage of these different kind of inexpensive tools that exist now can really cut down costs and help companies build themselves up to be prepared for kind of this unknown space that we find ourselves in.
Mm-hmm.
Funding is another key. So
you read my mind. Go for it, Jacob. Go for it.
Money is the other big
money talks. Where do folks get it?
So I think it's two different things. So that article, Carlos, that if you're including that, like, I think like money does talk, and I think it's an essential piece of the puzzle. But for an early stage startup, I think you have to structure yourself. You have to figure out a way to. I'm a huge proponent of lean startup methodology. If you're not familiar, there's a book called The Lean Startup and some different things. It's the idea that starting a company is extremely risky. Inherently, there's a bunch of stuff that's out of your control, no matter how capable or experienced you are. So building your company in a way that is very, very cost efficient out the gate is the smartest way to do it, because otherwise you're introducing all sorts of external risk. In answer to your question that maybe is a little out of the box, but is something that I really believe in, if at all humanly possible, I'm a big proponent of maintaining a part-time or full-time job while starting your business, so that you have an income coming in that can help supplement that gap of getting started. I heard Damon John speak about this when he was starting Fubu. Mentioned that he kept his waiter job, his server job at Red Robin or something like that for the first 5 years of doing Fubu. The Warby Parker guys finished school and were working other jobs and stuff. So like I think that
John, you get one of these.
I personally think that diving right in and creating an external runway, while it might be the right move for some people, I think it actually creates a lot of external avoidable risk for others that
right.
If you can maintain an external income, I actually think that's a really good strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I know that didn't answer your question directly, but I wanted to give you something out of the box that you might not be thinking of already.
And it's interesting enough, Jacob, you're alluding to a quote I saw this morning on Instagram. Use the 9 to 5 to fund the 5 to 9. Once built, use the 5 to 9 to fund the 24/7.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah, I think that's basically what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Because I think something like taking out loans is very risky. My first business, we took out loans very early, and then we had an unforeseen. Basically, we were an energy consulting company, and we had a particularly warm winter. It was something completely out of our hands that made it so that our service wasn't in as high demand, and consequently, we were stuck with this big loan we had taken out just because of a worst case scenario that had happened. So recognizing that the worst case scenario can happen, that should factor into your mindset about how you're approaching capital.
It goes into some basic common sense practices. My mother has always taught me never quit a job before you have another one. Kind of what you're explaining here. Don't go just head first into a venture without having or maintaining a steady income to just have that cushion as you build your dream.
Some other folks might disagree with me. Obviously, people will, point to Mark Zuckerberg dropping out of Harvard. I see Carlos raising his hand.
One in a million.
I think it depends.
That's two. What are you talking about?
Okay, 2 in a million. 2 in a million.
I think it depends on.
What about the 999 plus thousand folks?
I want to clarify that I'm saying if it makes sense for you, I think that's the move. And then I think the other piece is you should resist bringing in outside capital as long as you can before you really need to, because the outside capital starts to, that's what you should be using to grow once you've found your product market fit. Once you really know that you have demand for your business, that's when you can bring outside capital in to help you grow. But if you bring in money too early, now all of a sudden you have these external decision makers that are in your ear, helping, that may or may not have the, they're trying to get their investment back for, and you also, open yourself up to other types of risks. So that's just my take. To answer your question more directly and pragmatically, I think a lot of folks are more skeptical now of kind of some of these business plan competitions and things that are like pitting entrepreneurs against each other. I still do encourage folks to take a look into those programs and see if it's right for you. Also, the different accelerator programs right now, Techstars, which has a presence in Detroit, their national global accelerator is taking applications right now. If you're at a stage where that makes sense for you, they actually are prioritizing underrepresented founders right now. And that's a great avenue, programs like that to take a look at. Just the way that it's structured, it's a whole support ecosystem that can help you grow. And for folks that are local, look into Motor City Match, look into some of these different grant programs and different things. that you can take advantage of and get access to capital. And then if you are at a stage where you're looking for venture capital or things like that, it's all about networking. So start the truism there is start building relationships with funders before you're looking to raise money. So that's something that you want to start doing now if you expect to raise that type of capital in the future, like venture funding or something like that. Great local group, Invest Detroit, that has some City of Detroit is involved. So it's public-private, and that's a great group to look into, as well as Invest Michigan. They're called ID Ventures now, Invest Detroit, ID Ventures. And then Invest Michigan is another one to look into because they have a vested interest in investing local dollars, investing in folks that are based in Detroit or in Michigan.
Listen, look, hold on. Jacob, hands down. Mic drop. Mic drop. Mic drop. So I get it. You are the community director there at Collider, but you get my vote for being the ambassador of Detroit. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying.
I'm honored to hear you say that.
Yeah.
He's giving answers, resources that you will look upon from city leaders.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if they don't know, now you know.
Yeah.
You know, there's resources that we have and we should be plugging into, especially those of us that are business owners or if we're considering starting a business. And we have to begin to connect with these resources in order that we bring those ideas to fruition and make them more valuable for the city. That's powerful.
Absolutely.
Listen.
And that's why it's so important to be connecting with people, because you might meet somebody, tell them what you're trying to do, and they might say, oh, have you heard about this program? That's something that I have that's not on my radar, right? So I think that's the key.
Yeah, and you know what? And this, it's funny you should say that, because I'm thinking in my head, won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Oh,
that's how Jacob is. Jacob, all he take, you meet him and you tell him what your idea is, and he said, oh, you need to talk with Nate over at Detroit Blockchain Center, or you need to talk with Kevin, and you need to talk to Adam, and he connects you with everybody. He is literally a connector of sorts. I guess you're like an evangelist.
I'm an evangelist of sorts. Yeah, I'm a connector. I think other folks know how to code or fix things. I connect people. That's the skill I bring to the table, Carlos.
You are doing you're doing a hell of a job of it, my friend. You're doing one hell of a job of it.
I appreciate that.
So we appreciate you here at the Tech School Podcast. I am so grateful that you decided to come on this afternoon. I know that we took you away from a lot of business at hand, but definitely at some point we'd love to have you come back and give us a lot more of those resources that you have. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing, Jacob?
Absolutely, anytime. And what's going on?
See there? You got fans already screaming that you are amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all. Really appreciate it. I would love to be back on. It's always an honor to be chatting with you, Carlos. Nice to meet you, Josh. And
Likewise, Jacob.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Definitely. We look forward to it, sir.
Knowledge. Power.
Wow. I didn't know. I don't know. Don't y'all blame me.
I didn't know. I just met him just now.
I'm just saying. I didn't know the guy was going to come on here and drop bombs like that. If that was the case, I would have made it just a show about him. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Right? Should have brought him on a long time ago.
Yeah.
Definitely have to bring him back.
Definitely.
Please.
Hey, but at this point, we definitely as well have to go and take care of some business and pay some bills so that we can make sure that we bring on our next guest, and that would be our student alum. Now, y'all know, you know that I'm Katam Sevilla. I'm working on it.
Katam Sevilla.
There you go. Mrs. Tucker. Mrs. Tucker is going to be coming on with us right after this break. So, Brandon, take us there, if you will.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Josh.
I'm Carlos, better known as Crypto Los.
This is the Tech School Podcast powered by DSDT.
I just made up Crypto Los in case you didn't.
And that's exactly what this is. It's a great season. Season 4, we're back in the building, side by side.
If you haven't checked out the podcast, make sure that you go to it wherever you get your podcast from.
But in the meantime, see ya.
Hello, I'm Jason Stemmer. I served 5 years as a combat engineer in the United States Army. In the summer of 2019, I joined DSDT to learn advancing technologies in computer support, networking, cybersecurity, many valuable tools in digital media. DSDT is partnered with a lot of veteran-friendly employers, and with the help of DSDT's Job Placement Assistance, I was able to quickly begin work in the IT field. I'm very pleased with this direction, as there is unlimited potential in the technology field, with no signs of growth or demand ever slowing. So come in for a visit, take a tour, and schedule a meeting with an advisor. DSDT really changed my life for the better, and it can change yours.
At the Detroit School for Digital Technology, we strive to provide students who are willing to learn new and exciting skill sets with a quality education in cutting-edge film technology to include recording in HD and 4K formats, drone videography, editing, and state-of-the-art color grading. Our instructors are friendly, knowledgeable industry professionals who are willing to teach. For more information, call us at 313-263-4200 or visit us on the web at dsdt.tech.
All right, Crypto Los, let's continue this great show that's underway with Kentamsa Via Tucker, a current student from Mississippi studying with DSDT, is my understanding.
Absolutely. How you doing today, ma'am?
And first and foremost, did we get your name correct?
It's Kentamsa Via.
Kentamsa Via.
Yeah, it's spelled like it's pronounced.
Kentamsa Via.
Oh, Kentamsa Via. K-E Tom's Via.
Wait a minute now. Hold on. You say it's spelled just like it's pronounced.
Yeah,
Tom's Via.
I'm just saying.
Oh
the first thing I see is keto.
You wrong for that.
That's the first thing I see. So if it throws. Oh, I see it. Keto, Mississippi Via.
Be quiet.
I got it.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are y'all?
Doing well. So, yes, you are studying with DSDT from Mississippi, is my
I
understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give us a little bit of your background. How did you connect with DSDT? What you're studying, what your ambitions are, the whole nine. We want to hear more from you.
Okay, so DSDT found me. I didn't find them. They found me on Indeed, and I just went on with it.
Went on with it.
I just went on with it, and last time I did film production. This time I'm doing 3D printing. So what's that? What's it called, Carlos?
It is called Tech 6.
Yeah, Tech 6
Tech program. Not
so I'm
know
doing
anything, but I know now, right? All right. So going all the way back, can you tell us a little bit about your background? So you are a military veteran, are you?
I am.
And what branch were you in?
Army.
You're in the Army? How long?
Yeah. I was in the Army for 5 years. I joined straight out of high school.
So you were in the Army for 5 years and you discharged when?
January the 2nd, 2018.
Wow. You miss it?
A little bit. Yeah.
Why?
Cause it was great friends, and we be all about our money. So and I went places. I went to Korea and Kuwait. I ain't gonna say I would have ever went to those places without the military. So
okay. So since you've been back home in Mississippi, you haven't been anywhere?
Talking about like overseas, like I went in the military. Nah.
Have you gone anywhere outside of Mississippi?
Yeah, I've been to Missouri before. That my first time going to Missouri was Branson, Missouri. Was last year, and it was fun there.
Hey, you know what? I'm starting to see a pattern now, though. I really am, because I see that MS stands for Mississippi, Missouri.
My God.
What else?
Military. You funny.
I was just wondering.
Kentamsa Via.
Right. So, okay, so you're now going to be taking the Vet Tech 3D printing program, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so, and you're looking to take these technology programs, might I ask why?
I don't know. Like, I wanted to get back into like the computer thinking, but it's hard to find jobs, and I don't know. It's just hard to find jobs with the computer stuff, but As long as I get education on it, they'll call me sometime soon.
Are you showing up and showing out?
I show up and show out every time.
You can. I like that. You say you show up every time. Show up and show out every
Yeah.
time. I believe
Yep.
that too. I believe that. So what's in the cards for you moving forward after DSDT? Is it that you really want to work in the field of technology, or it's just a skill set that you wanted to have just in case?
The skill set, and I work in technology too, but it's the skill set I want to have just in case as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I was in Alaska a few weeks ago, and I noticed that the guy that was our tour guide, he said that he was a EMT, so he had his certification in that. He was into technology, information technology, he had certifications in that. And I'm saying to myself, this guy's just racking up all these certifications, and he's out
Yeah.
here being a tour guide,
Right.
you know?
So
But at the end of the day, I think that some of us are just like that. You know, some
Yeah.
of us just want to be educated as we go about our life travels, so that we have that tool in our belt whenever needed.
It helps you reinvent yourself, and that
Yep.
is always valuable.
Yeah, yeah,
that's true.
yeah. So, what is it that you're hoping to reinvent yourself into?
Hi, kids.
He's doing too much. Yeah. So, what is it that you're hoping to reinvent yourself? Hey, everybody, come on, come on. What would be your ultimate position to hold now that you're abreast of what technology is and
Mhm.
opportunities that lay in it? What would be your ultimate go-to, if at all possible?
What you mean by that?
I mean, would you want to be like a network engineer? Would you want to be in cybersecurity?
Dream job.
Would you want to be a hacker? Would you want to be, red hat, whatever? What would you
Look, so when I first did DSDT, and they was like film production, and you're gonna be taking all these classes, and you're gonna be a hacker. I was into that.
A hacker?
I was into that.
You would like to hack?
Yeah. I was into that. I was like, oh, I'm finna go to school to be a hacker.
You haven't ever broken into anybody's phone, have you? I'm
No,
just asking.
but I wouldn't mind.
Check my nice stuff over here.
I'm just saying, you're not checking no phones, are you?
No, I ain't never did no stuff like
All
that.
right, so
But I mean,
you could see yourself sitting in a room somewhere, in a dark room, and actually going through the systems in order that you would be one of those penetration testers.
I ain't gonna say a dark room. I can see I can see myself working like in a group session, and they trying to figure out something, and I help them hack into whatever they trying to figure out. I can see myself doing it.
What did you do when you were in the military, might I ask?
I was an information technology specialist.
What the? Why didn't I know that? Right? What was I thinking?
Crypto Los.
25 Bravo, information technology specialist.
Right. So, while you were in, did you get any type of certifications or any type of degree or anything?
Nope.
You didn't. So
I'm
when you got
earning
out-
all now.
So you got all that information, all that experience, and now you're pairing that with the certifications in order that you would have better opportunities in the future.
Yep. And the stuff that I learned in the classes before, like when I first went to DSDT, I learned some of it in the military. Hold on.
Yeah. Wow. Congratulations. Congratulations.
And I want to go back to this hacker aspect. Say you would love to be a hacker. Have you ever done any hacking before?
Nope.
What intrigues you about hacking? Because we've had
It's just when they said you gonna go to school to be a hacker, I was like, okay then.
one of the top hackers in the world. 51st, 54th.
54, number 54. Whenever he shows up, all you hear is
But yeah, I wouldn't mind like being a hacker. It just sound cool. It just sound like you a hacker? Yeah, I'm a hacker. But you wouldn't say that in public. You know, you would find another word for it. But you know, you in your mind, you be like, yeah, I'm a hacker. I hack your stuff too. Stop playing with me.
No, don't hack my stuff. I'm just saying.
I ain't gonna hack nobody's stuff. I'm just
Who
saying.
would you be a hacker for if you could choose?
I don't know. What our company hack stuff? I ain't never looked into that. See, I ain't never just looked at. It's just the sound of it. You know how somebody say something and then you be like, I like how that sound.
Yeah.
And you don't look nothing into it. You just go on with it.
But see, at DSDT, you have to show up and show out.
All day. All day. So one of the first conversations I had was with our workforce development partners here in the city of Detroit. I get it. You're near Clarksdale, right?
Yeah.
But I remember them telling us that one of the most underrepresented demographics within the information technology sphere were African American women.
Mm.
You know, and when I hear you speak about what you would like to be in or where you see yourself being, it's very much attainable. It really is. As long as you're willing to put in the hours in order to grasp the knowledge and the skill set, there's definitely a role and a position for you somewhere. I mean, think about it. You already have the military background paired with the knowledge that you're ascertaining. There's a role for you. There's a role for you. Do you still have a security clearance as well?
I think so.
You think so?
Yep, I think
Because
so.
that's definitely there's opportunities there. Have you had conversations with Ashley here?
I have talked to Ashley before, I think.
Okay. We need to get you in a conversation with Ash. Well, you're about to be in another class, but after that, we need to have you on with a conversation with Ashley because there's employment opportunities right now for you with the experience, the security clearance, and the skill set that you already have.
Mm-hmm.
And we should be partnering or pairing you with those opportunities right now. So I want you again, Ashley, ASHLEY. I think that's how you spell it. Ashley at dsdt.tech. Send her an email and tell her that Carlos said that you should reach out to her in regards to employment opportunities.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right. And the great thing about these employment opportunities, they're remote. They're remote. Now, and as I'm saying that, I already know, right? Because you're about to do what?
What you mean?
What's going on with you? What's going on with you?
What, you talking about the baby?
Yeah.
The what?
Yeah. So she's in the
Talking
process.
about the baby.
She's about to have a baby in September.
Yep.
Yeah. That's right.
Congratulations.
Man. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's definitely a beautiful thing.
Yes,
This
it
is one of my students. I call her my student, right? Not that I told her anything, but this is one of the students I had to check up on one day because I kept getting these reports. I get a report every morning about
Yeah, he
students
did have to check up on me.
who haven't been taking care of business. And just so happened, she came across my desk one morning. And of course, I thought she was Russian. I just did. I thought she was Russian. I'm like, Keto, who is this? And then I was even more interested because she's from Clarksdale. And, you know, everybody knows my hometown. It's right across the bridge from Clarksdale, Mississippi. And so in getting in contact with her and having that conversation, she promised me that she was going to put everything in order and get it together. And she did. She did. She completed the program. Did you get your diploma not too
You
long
want
ago?
to see it?
I want to see it. I don't know about him. I want to see it.
Give me a minute.
Right? I want to see it. I want to see it. See it. For those of you that are waiting. And
Tucker,
There it is.
DSDT.
Yep. It's a graduation. They said they have a graduation coming, a virtual graduation. So I'm excited about that as well.
It's on the 30th, and
Yep.
I have to.
You can.
You had to get that. You had to get that. You earned that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
I get these reports on students, and sometimes it's like, what are we doing? Right? We're having to call adults to ensure that they're going through the program, that they're doing everything that they need to do in order to get from A to Z. And here we are on the aftermath of having a conversation with you. You got it done. You got your paperwork. You enrolled in another class. I'm telling you, every resource at my disposal is yours. And we're going to make sure that you get employment doing exactly what it is that you've been taught to do. All right?
Thank you. Thank you.
No. It's
Thank
definitely
you.
all my pleasure, and you deserve each and every bit of it.
Thank you.
All right, so before we let you go, if there was anything that you could say to a person that's going to be watching this podcast, I don't know, next week, next year, and they're going to be considering coming to DSDT, what would you say to that individual?
They can do it, and it's easy. Just don't get off track. Do not get off track.
There it is. Because if you get off track, what's going to happen?
You're gonna have to talk to Mr. What he call himself, Crypto Carlos.
Crypto Carlos.
Crypto Carlos
They're going to have to talk to Crypto Los.
with his green chain.
Listen, Miss Tucker, I truly do appreciate you.
No problem.
As a matter of fact, I appreciate you so much. I'll call you up. I'll call you when we're done. All right.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Graduation will be here next. I forget what day the 30th is, but on the 30th we have our virtual graduation, and I need students who have completed the program to submit a video to be included in that presentation. Guess who just got selected to be a part of that?
Moi?
Moi. Yeah. Yeah, moi. Moi.
Yes,
You.
you.
Hands down. I select you hands down. You
Okay.
have done a phenomenal job. And
What the video gotta be about?
I don't know. I'll let the people that make the video talk to you about that.
Oh, Lord.
I'm just saying. I'm just the guy that's going to make sure that you're included therein. Is that something that you wouldn't mind doing?
I wouldn't mind doing it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, for right now, I want to say I appreciate you again. Thank you. Thank you for putting in all the work that it took in order to get her done. You have the one diploma. You're in the process of going through the Vet Tech program in order for the certification of the 3D printing. There's nothing you can't do as of right now.
I know, right? I tell
Absolutely.
myself, don't say the word can't, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
Absolutely. I expect a call from me in a little bit, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yes, sir.
Whoa.
Tom's Villa Tucker, ladies and gentlemen. Carlos, what an amazing episode. Great character from Miss Tucker. Great knowledge and personality from Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Very enlightening
Mm-hmm.
to just know about the resources out there.
Mm-hmm. I'm in the words of one of our directors, Mrs. Katie Aqua.
Mm-hmm.
What about me? I'm just saying, what about me?
Well, Carlos, you put on the production, man. You
What-
got Jacob
what-
to join us. You got Tom's Villa to join us.
What about me? All right. I love you, Katie.
Give those shout outs.
Right.
You got
right,
to. You got to.
Right.
Well, man, I think that would do it for us.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm Josh for Crypto Los. This is the Tech School Podcast powered by DSDT. See ya.